and control. Focus on this instead. The subtitle, Take Your Power Back. To begin the conversation, family, comment below, I will take command of my mind. That's our objective this week. I'm going to take command of my mind. I'm not going to live this week by default. I'm going to live it by design. I refuse to be a victim of my circumstances, but yet and still, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put matters in my own hands and I'm going to rise above them, first and foremost, right here with my mindset. I'm going to take command of my mind. I may not be able to control what's happening around me, but I'm going to take control of what's happening within me. And I can control my inner world. I can position myself to improve my outer world. I will take command of my mind. I want to read a brief quote and share this with you all to kind of give us the foundation of today's topic of discussion. There we go. I see them coming up. And again, there's a bit of a delay with the comments. I will take command of my mind. But again, family, I want to share this quote with you. I've shared this quote in the past, but I believe it's befitting that we revisit the power and the insights that can come from this particular quote as we approach this week's opportunities. Now, I'm assuming, I may not be correct, but I'm assuming that if you're tuning into this broadcast, you're aiming to level up your life. Your goal is to become the best version of yourself. Like your objective is ultimately to experience constant and never-ending improvement, daily, gradual growth. You want to be your best so that you can begin to lead by example. You can accomplish your goals and your dreams. You can live out your purpose. You can be influential and impact your community, your family, and those that you're connected to. So I'm just assuming that if you're tuning into this broadcast, you're holding on to those values and you have those same objectives. Ultimately, you're stepping into this day looking to fulfill your destiny by any means necessary, aiming to become the best you. With that being said, with that frame of mind, with that level of intentionality, what will occur, what is almost certain, so to speak, is that as you begin to take steps towards goals that you've established and dreams that you've manufactured in your mind that you're looking to manifest in your life, there will be challenges. There will be difficult moments. There's going to be some discouraging times. And there's going to be times mentally and emotionally where you're being pulled back and forth. And in many cases, you may feel like throwing in the towel, giving up, like going back to the life that you've grown accustomed to, abandoning those goals and those dreams, right? In many cases, we can often allow doubt to hijack our mind. But this quote is going to remind us of where we should direct our focus, where we should place our attention, and how we should show up, even in the face of adversity. Real quick, I should have put this up on the screen, but nonetheless, I'll read it so you guys can hear where I'm coming from. The quote says this: a bird sitting in a tree is not afraid of the branch breaking because the bird's trust is not in the branch, but the bird's trust is in its own wings. Now, think about that for a moment. A bird sitting in a tree, right? He's aware that this branch could break in any given moment. This branch could fall apart, but he's not intimidated. He's not thrown off by the circumstances around him because he understands what he possesses. He understands that even if this branch breaks, I can fly, I can soar, I can reach new heights. I won't be in danger because I have what it takes to handle what may unfold. I have what it takes to be able to navigate the difficult circumstances that may arise if this foundation that I'm standing on begins to fall apart. Family, the easiest way for us to give away our personal power is to assume that we have none in the first place. And for so many of us, we often operate with the mindset thinking that we are victims of circumstances or we're victims of our environment or we have no control or agency over our life. Now, granted, yes, life is going to do what life does. The struggle may be real and things may become challenging, but at the end of the day, it's important for us to understand in the same way that that bird recognizes you have what it takes to handle whatever life throws at you. But in order for us to be effective and to perform at a high level, we have to take back our power. Everybody comment below. Personal power. Our personal power. Last week we talked about the importance of us staying in power, right? Not allowing our emotions to overpower our intelligence. And this is very critical as it relates to us making progress towards our goals. Because you're at your best when you're in power. You're more confident. You're more assertive. You're more determined. You're more willing to take risks. You're more apt to take the initiative to pursue your goals and your dreams. You're more focused. You're more resilient when you operate from a state of empowerment. And think about it. Everything that unfolds in our life is constantly attacking our mindset. Because if your mind can be flawed, right? If your mind can be hijacked, then ultimately you can never be at your best. And this is why it's so very important for us to protect our focus as it relates to us approaching every single day, every single opportunity, every single adverse condition or circumstance. We have to protect our focus. Quick question. How much stress are you creating for yourself simply because you're aiming to control things that technically you cannot control? Think about that. The bird's not controlling whether this branch breaks or not. No, I'm not worried about that. My focus is on my own wings, my own ability to fly, my own capacity to evolve, to grow, to change, to initiate some level of progress in my life, right? How much stress are you causing for yourself simply because you're trying to control things that you technically cannot control? You're trying to control other people. You're trying to control the environment in which you live. You're trying to control the circumstances that you find yourself in or the conditions that you find yourself in any given moment. And because you're trying to control things that you can't, it's bringing forth new levels of anxiety, new levels of doubt and discouragement, new levels of disappointment. In some cases, you often feel defeated simply because you're directing your focus towards things that you cannot control. That's a never-winning battle, family. But instead, here's what we want to do, and here's what we want to focus on. I want us to focus on the things that we can control this week. Well, D1, if I can't control my circumstances or if I can't control the events that occur in my life, what can I control? Bruce, I'm glad you asked that question because I have an answer for us this morning, right? There's 3 things that we can control in any given moment, family. Number 1 is you're always in control of what you focus on. Everybody comment below what I focus on. I'm in control of what I focus on. The second thing that you can control is the meaning that you attach to any given situation or circumstance. And if you guys can recall last week during our conversation, we talked about the importance of us creating empowering meanings to what's unfolding in our life. Because the meaning that you attach to what's happening in your life will come with a certain emotion. And that emotional state will dictate your frame of mind, right? So if I look at a situation that's unfolding in my life and I create a disempowering meaning, it's going to put me in a state of disempowerment. So therefore, I'm not going to make sound decisions. And in some cases, I may give up solely because of the meaning that I attach to what's happening around me. So it's so very important that we develop the habit to find the empowering meaning to everything that we face. You want to train your mind to seek out the value in every experience. You want to find something positive in every single day, even if on some days you have to look a little harder. You want to train your mind to, again, attach empowering meanings to what's happening so you can stay empowered. Then lastly, the third thing that you can always control is you can always control how you respond to what's happening in your life. Ultimately, the decisions that you make, the choices that you choose. D1 can't control what's happening around me, but I can always control how I'm going to respond to the situation at hand. Now, granted, here's a side note. There's a huge difference, family, between reacting to a situation and responding to a situation. Very quickly, the difference between the two of those is simply when you're emotional, right? We often react, meaning we allow our emotions to make our decisions for us. We get told no, we get rejected, we feel discouraged, and we give up. We experience a setback. We're disappointed in ourselves and we stop taking the initiative. We stop being consistent. some people don't believe in us, right? Or the odds are stacked against us. And because we feel as if we can't make it and we're in this emotional state, we neglect to take the necessary steps to move our life forward. And we're reacting to what's happening. But when we respond to a situation that's unfolding in our life, what this means is you're placing mind over matter, and you're making a sound decision that's based upon your vision, your purpose, and your goals. Ultimately, yeah, you may get discouraged, but you don't allow that discouragement to lead you to a state of feeling defeated. Yeah, you may not really enjoy the outcomes that you experienced, but you're looking at the situation. Maybe it was a temporary moment, or a temporary moment of defeat, rather, or a moment of setback, right? You're looking at that now as an opportunity for growth. And you're finding the value in that experience, and you're responding to the situation at hand and positioning yourself to now move closer to where you aim to be in life. Ultimately, what I'm saying in this conversation is this, family. If you focus on the things that you can't control this week, I promise you, it's going to put you in a state of anxiousness, fearfulness, doubt, discouragement, stressed, overwhelmed, in some cases isolated, in a state where you feel like giving up. But the alternative, another choice that you can make, is to not focus on the things that you can't control, but instead focus on those three things that you can. Protect your focus. What are you looking at? What are you viewing? What's the perspective that you have about what's happening in your life? Do you see the glass as half full or half empty? Do you see the situation as something that's going to take you out or something that's going to make you better? Choose to where you're going to direct your focus. And as you choose what you're going to focus on, attach an empowering meaning to what's happening around you. How can you grow from the situation? How is this challenge making you better? Understanding that life is not happening to you, but it's happening for you. And everything that's unfolding in your life, even though it may be uncomfortable, that discomfort is going to lead you to growth, improvement, and development. Choosing the meaning that you're attaching to the experiences that you have. And then the last thing that you can control are the decisions that you make, responding to life rather than reacting to it, right? Making the executive decision, I'm going to take the information that's unfolding in my life. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to view it. I'm going to unpack it. And I'm going to make a sound decision. I'm going to be critically thinking, right, as I'm approaching every single thing that's unfolding in my life. I'm not going to make any assumptions. Oh, this is just going to take me out. I'm not going to be able to rise above this. I can't handle this. No, I'm thinking critically in every given moment. And I'm asking myself, how can I use this to move me forward? How can I use this to progress towards my goals and my dreams? How can I leverage this challenge to make me better? Because you carry that personal power. Let's think about that for a moment. The people that succeed, the individuals that achieve their goals and their dreams, the influential leaders that inspire us, those that are making a difference within our communities, these are not individuals that are exempt from challenges and adverse conditions and difficulties. No, all of us experience life and the fullness thereof. But those that move forward, those that rise above those challenges, they control what they focus on. They don't allow what's happening around them to dictate what's happening within them. Keep that in mind, family. It's those that control their inner world that can position themselves to improve the quality of their life. And as a leader, as a success warrior, many entrepreneurial soldiers that are in this broadcast, that's the mindset that we want to have. I got to control what's happening within me. I may not be able to control what's happening around me, but if I can control what's happening within me, I can position myself to find the value in this experience, to rise above this particular challenge, to come up with solutions to the problems that I'm facing. I can maintain my vision even in the face of vicious resistance and keep pressing towards my destiny because I'm focusing on what I can control. If you don't get anything else out of what we talked about during this conversation, take this with you, family. The bird sitting in a tree is not afraid of that branch breaking. But the bird sitting in the tree is not focused on that branch. It's focused on its own wings. Everybody comment below. I can handle whatever this week throws at me. And I need you to really believe that, right? I can handle whatever this week throws at me. Whatever unfolds, whatever occurs, whatever arises, Whatever I got to face, I can handle it. I'm built for this. I can do this. I got this. When you start operating with that level of confidence and belief in yourself, this is when you truly begin to redefine possibilities for your life. When you don't allow the circumstances that life throws at you, the hand that you've been dealt, to dictate how you feel. But instead, you make up your mind. It doesn't matter what challenge, what difficulty, what setback, what struggle I got to deal with. Whatever comes my way, I'm coming out on top. Think about that, Kevin. If I'm in a fight, right, it don't matter who my opponent is because I know what I got. If I'm in a battle, it doesn't matter what opposition I've got to deal with because I understand the gifts, the talents, and the strength that I possess. I can handle whatever this week throws at me. And family, that's the perspective that we got to hold on to. And I get it, right? Somebody tuning into this broadcast, like, you going through it right now. You going through it. It's difficult for you. It's challenging for you. You feel all by yourself. You feel isolated. Nobody else gets what you're experiencing. I need you to dig deep and really start connecting with yourself and understand the power that's at work within you, the power that you possess. I'm talking about the ability to overcome. In fact, you're more than just a conqueror, right? Like, you got within you to rise above situations and not just survive, but to thrive, to endure the hardship, to experience a setback and use it as your bounce back, right? And that setup for your success. That's the capacity that you have within you. But it starts with you believing in who you are and the power that you possess. I'm trying to wrap it up, but I think somebody needs it, right? In fact, comment below. Remember who you are. Remember who you are. Don't allow your situation or your circumstance or the conditions that you find yourself in to define who you are. Don't allow your past, right, to dictate the power that you possess. Don't allow the negative criticism from others and people that doubt that you can succeed at a particular goal to dictate what you believe about yourself. I need you to remember who you are. Somebody in this broadcast, right, you've been navigating a difficult experience, right, and start to dictate your state of mind. And you start to experience this amnesia about what you possess and the gifts that are operating within you and the strength that you got. I need you to start tapping into the memory of who you are. Think about the situations that you've already navigated, the struggles that you've already rose above. I'm talking about the solutions that you've created to your past problems. I need you to reflect on those moments and start recruiting confidence from those experiences. Start leveraging strength that you use to overcome that past challenge, that past adverse condition that you had to navigate. I need you to start recruiting confidence and remember you got what it takes and it takes what you got. You just got to activate it. You got to activate it. And it starts with you really declaring and affirming, I can handle whatever this week throws at me. I got what it takes and it's at work within me. Not only is it at work within me, I'm going to leverage it to improve the world around me. Let's wrap this thing up before we start another train, family. If you slid into this broadcast and I was unable to give you a shout out, be sure to comment below. And if, in fact, this is your first time or maybe your first time in a long time, I welcome you and I want to shout you out as well. Put a number 1 in the chat and then place your first name afterward. Again, number 1 in the chat and then place your first name afterward. If you were feeling or were empowered by what we discussed during today's broadcast, you were picking up what your boy D1 was putting down, put some fist up in the chat below. Let me know that you found value in this discussion. I would truly appreciate that. Yeah, Kevin, remember who you are and remember whose you are. Talk that talk. Bruce, you can handle it, brother. Mia, I can handle whatever this week throws at me. I receive it. I believe it. And that's what it starts with. It starts with belief, man. It starts with belief. Because remember, family, your belief will always carry more power than your reality. Man, if we had time, we'd unpack that. Your belief will always carry more power than your reality. For many people, they're looking at their current reality and they're succumbing to their circumstances simply because they believe their reality is going to dictate the life that they live. And I get it, right? Your reality can often be very influential on how you feel. But if you can think bigger than your circumstances, if you can feel more empowered than your current conditions, you can position yourself to reinvent your reality, right? You allow your belief system to shape the world around you, right? In essence, the vision inside of you will begin to shape the world around you. That's the mindset that we got to have. Lisa is in the building. Great day to you, sis. I saw your text. Didn't get a chance to read it. I'll respond to you here shortly. I'm glad to have you tapped in live, sis. Again, I see the fist coming up. Family, please share this out with the people that you do care about. Facebook, share it out. Tag somebody in the chat. I don't know why this thing is not popping up. There we go. But again, if you're watching this on Facebook, tag somebody in the chat or share this with your entire network. If you're watching this on X, you can retweet this out. Unfortunately, for those that are watching this on X and Twitter, shout out to those, man. We never get to see your comments, so we do not see that you're in the broadcast, but nonetheless, you can still engage with the stream by simply retweeting this out. And for those watching this on LinkedIn, you can also share this with your professional network. And shout out to everybody on YouTube. Real quick, everybody on YouTube, if you will, please hit the like button. It goes a long way in the algorithm. And then share the link out with at least 3 people that you personally know. Kevin's 2 steps ahead of your boy. Share this with at least 3 people that you personally know. Hit that share button. You can copy that link, paste it in your DMs, paste it in your stories on Instagram, on Facebook, paste it in your text message threads, right? Send it to your group message with your family, your friends, your coworkers, whoever that you believe can benefit from this broadcast. Please share it out with the people that you do care about. I would truly appreciate that. With that being said, family, if we've yet to connect on other social media platforms, what are you waiting for? Connect with your boy. I'm at #1 Gibson, including Instagram as well as Facebook. Be sure to tap into our YouTube channel and subscribe. I keep highlighting YouTube because in 2025, I set a goal to be more intentional about expanding our community there on that platform. So on that platform, I create short films, long form content, our documentary series on small businesses, and other documentary series that I'm going to be producing in the very near future. So be sure to subscribe to that platform on YouTube if you've yet to do so. And also connect with me on LinkedIn if you're on that platform as well, at David Gibson. Also, many people inquire about how they can support this broadcast and the mission financially. You can make a financial contribution to my Cash App. That's $D1 Gibson. Again, $D1 Gibson. Truly appreciate those that continue to contribute to the mission. And again, would truly appreciate any additional support as we aim to empower leaders like you and help individuals live out their best life. Also, as you guys see there, the website elevationisAmust.com. For more information on my speaking and coaching services, be sure to tap in there. And while you're there, check out my online store where you can purchase books, ebooks, and resources, all designed to help you master your mindset and become the best version of yourself. With that being said, family, it's Monday, y'all. Let's get excited about this week's opportunities. Take command of your mind. Again, focus on what you can control. That's how we can be effective and dominate this week's opportunities. Now, before we conclude, if you find yourself in a difficult situation or challenging experience, I want you to remember and hold this dear and near to your heart that what you're currently experiencing, it's only temporary. This too shall pass. In fact, say that with me. For those that are going through it right now, for those whose backs are currently up against the wall, for those who feel overwhelmed, like your mind is like consumed with your problems, your pain, or maybe even issues from your past and the trauma that you've been experiencing. I need you to understand that this feeling, this condition, this circumstance, this situation that you find yourself in, this too shall pass. It's only temporary. So do not make a permanent decision that's based upon a temporary circumstance. Don't you give up on yourself. Don't you give up on that dream. Don't you give up on that idea. Don't you give up on your gifts and your talents. Don't you give up on your vision. I want you to be committed for the long haul. Stay loyal to your success. Your success. Other people may not approve it. Other people may actually deny it or they may not believe in it. But I need you to stay loyal to your success and what you desire for your life. The vision that you have, the gifts that you want to manifest into the world, the ideas that you want to build and share with others. I need you to stay true to it. Stay locked in. Yeah, I get it. It's rough. It's tough. But as it gets rougher, you got to get tougher. The struggle may be real, but so is you. Like you got the strength within you to rise above this, but you got to believe it. Start leveraging your personal power this week. Step into every single opportunity, knowing that you belong there. I want you to keep knocking on doors until they open. If they don't open, you tear down the wall and go get what is rightfully yours. That's the mindset that we want to have this week, family. If nobody else tells you that they love you today, remember your brother from another mother, D1 Gibson, has nothing but love for each and every single one of you. Thank you all for tuning into the broadcast. Again, I'm hoping that I said something or I shared something with you that was insightful, that shifted your perspective, that helped you stay up or show up empowered this week and rise above the challenges that you may face. Ultimately, I want us to build momentum towards our goals this week. Let's make that commitment. Let's take steps towards where we want to be. Yes, it may be difficult, and we're going to experience those difficult times, but nonetheless, stay determined. I'll wrap it up by saying this. The call to action for each and every single one of us, including myself, is that today and every day this week, be effective, be successful, live with some passion, and most importantly, join in with me by pounding your chest 3 times. 1, 2, 3. I want you to be powerful. My name is David Gibson, also known as D1 Gibson. Checking out. Have a magnificent Monday and an extraordinary week. We'll be back at it next week, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday. Until then, peace.